Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
She writes, DARPA has a major program doing CBW for the military and has a lot of branches. They are developing a wide range of hyper neurotoxins and pretty way out DNA altering nanotech stuff to alter our DNA, where you would swallow it or they would inject it intravenously, I would think. You should look into DARPA. They're the top of the research food chain. Working with them was scary. This is a retired PhD lady scientist who worked with DARPA, for DARPA, and other scientific agencies. I want to repeat that. They're the top of the research food chain, DARPA is. Working with them was scary. I'll tell you about it. Folks, are you get ready for this? She goes on. Of course, they can't come right out and say their ultimate purpose is actually to repel a planetary invasion that is currently in progress. It's a PhD level scientist, retired, that used to work with DARPA. That's too serious of an issue to raise until we have some sort of solution to offer. And when that time comes, it will obviously have to be carefully controlled. Now, this is a woman who's telling us that DARPA's real mission, the real goal, is to eventually repel a planetary invasion.
The more I hear about DARPA, the more I love hearing about DARPA. They're just so dark and just evil, and they've got all kinds of cool crap going on, and they're trying to repel an invasion. What? With what? Brain control? That's crazy. I mean, brain control that they're just like, oh, here, have some brain control is absolutely mind-boggling. But just that they're doing it, I don't know. It gets me all excited for all the crazy stuff that we're going to find out that they're doing to us, which is really bad. But for some reason, freaking cool. Hey, I just wanted to check in with you for a second. How are you doing? Let me know. I'd really like to know. If you got anything else you would like to say, that you're having a great time, you're not having a good time, you like the content, you hate the content, I don't care what you have to say. Let me know in the comments, because I reply to every single comment.
You know, people are always asking where this moon came from. We gotta understand, man, the Zeta Grays live on the outside of the ice wall, different, a whole different, completely different realm. Earth is a lot bigger than what they told y'all. And the safest way to get to these realms is to go under the earth, because under the earth they have tunnels that lead to these realms, and it's not cold. Like, say, for example, you leave outside the realm, if you don't got no spaceship, you're not getting there. If you ain't got some type of aerial craft, you're not gonna be able to get there. So a lot of our ancestors, they take the ancient underground tunnels to get to Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all these different places, which are districts. I call them districts. And you can actually travel there through the underground tunnels, and that's how you can pretty much get to these places. So the Zeta Grays, they came from outside of the ice wall, and they brought the moon. And they are like pirates in this realm, this third dimensional realm. They take over lands, they extract the resources, and they establish a religion to worship them, because they're a jealous god. And so Terra, which is Earth, is the center of this whole entire realm. And we used to run this realm, Atlantis, Lemuria, and all these different places. So our ancestors actually left back to our realm to get reinforcements to come back and wage war against these Zeta Gray pirates and their clones. And so when we retake this Earth, everybody's going to have to go back to where they came from, pretty much, back to their own realms. This map is called Terra Infinita, right? So the world is, that you know it, is a lot bigger than what you think it is. Like I said, one of the first things the Zeta Grays did when they got to our realm was capture all the blue Kachita, and basically, harnessing the power and using it for their own benefit, to use it as like a soul harvester, so to basically trap you here after you die. And if it wasn't there, you would return back to your ancient realms.
Now, I have seen this map before multiple times, but I have never heard that story. I freaking love it. That is fantastic. Is that the story? Because I know there's like a book or multiple books, right? Terra Infinita, and that's what that map is from. Is that the story that's in that book? Because if it is, I need to read it, because that was just mind-boggling. Do people believe that? I love it. I mean, I don't necessarily believe it, but that is fun. It's exciting. It's got all kinds of you know I love it. You know I love it.
Who actually runs the government?
Not who you think it is. The troubling part about all this is it's not even people who we vote for. When you look at what happened when President Biden had that infamous debate with President Trump, it exposed the reality that many of us have known for a long time, which is that President Biden has not been the guy calling the shots, nor has it been Kamala Harris, for that matter. It is this cabal of the Democrat elite, the woke warmongers made up of the likes of Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Tony Blinken, and Jake Sullivan, and people who are in the military-industrial complex, people who profit from us being in a constant state of war. It is those in the administrative state, in the national security state. It is their friends and billionaires and people in media who all derive their power from being able to have a figurehead that essentially they can control. Our country is the oldest democracy in the world, but the reality of a truly functioning and thriving democracy that has brought to life the vision that our founders had for us, that we really have a government of, by, and for the people, that becomes very hard to do, to hold people accountable when the person that you voted for is certainly not the one making the decisions.
And we have certainly been seeing less and less of him lately, haven't we? I've been saying it for a while. He's not in charge. Kamala's not in charge. She's like, oh, when I'm president, I'm going to do all this stuff. Honey, you've been in power for how long and what have you done? And I know I sound like a broken record, but come on. You can't stand there and promise to be gonna do something when you have been able to do something for all this time and you have gone and done nothing. So.
Aim for All program provides loans to first-time homebuyers to cover expensive down payments. But now a state Senate committee has unanimously voted to open up the taxpayer-funded program to all prospective homebuyers, regardless of immigration status. Now, the bill next goes to the full state Senate, and this isn't just happening in California, by the way. A taxpayer-funded group in Oregon is offering up to $30,000 for first-time homebuyers. The catch, it's not even open to United States citizens, only migrants. Kevin, is this good for business?
No. If I were a tax-paying American citizen listening to us right now, I would be really pissed off. And I mean, this is more Gavin Newsom stuff. This policy makes no sense. I call it un-American. You're an American paying taxes, and you don't get the same free money? I mean, who would even propose that? That's such a stupid idea. I can't believe it.
I don't understand what Gavin Newsom and the California Senate are expecting. Are they expecting the Californians who are working their freaking butts off every day to make ends meet and pay these damn taxes? Are they expecting us to just be excited and like, yay, these people who are not American citizens get the same thing that I get, even though have they paid a freaking penny in taxes all their lives? No. Yet, meanwhile, I am working my freaking ass off and I can't afford to buy a house, but don't worry, my tax money is going to go to make sure that somebody who isn't even here legally can. No, I'm not pissed off at all.
A smart city is a technologically modern urban area that uses different types of electronic methods and sensors to collect specific data. Information gained from that data is used to manage assets, resources, and services efficiently. That data is used to improve operations across the city. This includes data collected from citizens, devices, buildings, and assets that is processed and analyzed to monitor and manage transportation systems, power plants, utilities, water supply networks, waste, criminal investigations, schools, libraries, hospitals, and other community services. Smart cities are defined as smart both in the ways in which their governments harness technology as well as in how they monitor, analyze, plan, and govern the city. In smart cities, the sharing of data is not limited to the city itself, but also includes businesses, citizens, and other third parties. End quote. In short, then, a smart city is a place where everything you do is tracked and managed by the government, including what you do at home. This is possible because almost every single modern home appliance has internet connectivity, not just thermostats. Fridges, microwaves, TVs, cars, and even home entry systems are all connected these days. In other words, Smart cities are the dictionary definition of a digital dystopia.
Hard pass.
Does anyone else remember that architectural project happening in Saudi Arabia called The Line, where they were going to basically make multiple cities in a straight line to take up less space, where people would be stacked on top of each other, and there would be like a train in it that goes really fast from one end of Saudi Arabia to the other. And it looked like a very pretentious project. It looks like something that has a lot of problems, and that has shown to be true. In the last few years, they've had to scale back on this project because it was too ambitious. And now we're hearing that people who are clearing the space for this project have been told that if there are any people in the way, take them out. Just take them out. I remember when I first heard about this project, it sounded like something that was designed by a supervillain. You have one long line in the middle of the desert that is covered in a mirror, which means it's probably going to get hot, or it could maybe even cause fires around it. And if somebody is like driving through the desert and they drive into it, like it just sounds like a Wile E. Coyote prank. Like, who came up with this? And beyond that, you most likely are going to have a caste system of people who are less money, people who have more money, things like that. And there's only natural light coming in from the top of this like long city. So it's going to most likely be that people without money are going to turn into mole people who never get sunlight. And then the people with money will be up towards the top living in like sunlight filled penthouses and stuff like that. It is so weird that they are still going through with this. And every time I hear an update about it, it is truly villainous. I mean, besides them trying to scale it down a little bit so it could possibly get done, but the fact that they are told to bulldozer over people. And the whole point of this city was to like make less of an environmental impact because you could have more nature around if the cities are just in one long line instead of sprawling. But like, it just, all of it sounds like a terrible plan, awful city planning. I hope it never actually gets made because this thing is terrifying.
The more I hear about The Line, the more I feel like it's a prison. And I hope it's not. I want to see it come to fruition, and I want to see it in all its glory and doing everything that it's supposed to do. But bulldozing over people, not a good start.
Have you seen The Line in Saudi Arabia? Well, if you thought that was crazy, then get ready for Tolosa, a $400 billion proposed smart city in the United States. Announced in September 2021 by former Walmart executive and billionaire Mark Lore, he outlined his vision for a 5 million person new city in America. Tolosa will be 150,000 acres with a massive skyscraper at its center, a city where commutes are just 15 minutes. Buildings are covered in lush greenery, and gas-powered vehicles are banned. Tolosa will be 100% efficient and sustainable. Sound familiar to The Line? By 2030, the first phase of construction will cover 1,500 acres and house 50,000 residents at an estimated cost of $25 billion. The total project will likely exceed $400 billion, and the city will reach its target population of 5 million within 40 years. Do you think it will be a success?
To be perfectly honest, let me be perfectly honest. I would love for something like that to work. To be put into place and be fully functional, completely sustainable, and to provide a great life for its inhabitants. Absolutely. Is it a little scary? Oh, yeah. Have you seen the TV show The Silo? Kind of like that. Only bigger and not like underground and contained. So it is kind of concerning, but at the same time, I mean, not for our generations, the next generation maybe, or the younger generations. They could all go there and live there and work together and be a sustainable community. If that's possible, then yay, right? If it's good for the people, then yeah. If it's not good for the people, if it's just good for the rich people to make them richer, then, go f*** yourself.
So apparently it's gotten so bad and so hot in Saudi Arabia. This is around the area of Prophet's Mosque, Medina, Saudi Arabia. that they have purchased over 250 umbrellas. And these umbrellas are something out of the ordinary. Like, they are huge, okay? And they create a shaded area of 143,000 square meters. This method alone knocks about almost 50 degrees off the temperature already. And it's so conveniently placed, you can't even tell that it's umbrellas once it closes in. And they had to choose a color sand white because the bright white was actually causing people to burn underneath these umbrellas. But look at how big these things are, y'all.
I just never seen that before, and I thought it was super cool.
Fox News reports Harley-Davidson slams brakes on woke policies after sparking biker and social media outrage. Motorcycle maker says it no longer has DEI functions, vows to focus on retaining our loyal riding community. You love to see it. I revel in your suffering, Harley, but I respect the backtracking. They wanted a culture war. They got it. They got the culture war. Here's the post from Robbie Starbuck. He says, another win for our movement. I couldn't do this without all of you. Harley-Davidson has just issued this statement where they promise no more DEI functions, no more supplier diversity spend goals. They'll no longer participate in HRC scoring. Sponsorship activities are changing and will focus exclusively on motorcycling, first responders, active military, and veterans. No more woke trainings with socially motivated messaging inside of them. Harley-Davidson corporate can be sad all they want, but our movement gets results.
I was going to stop it here, but we're going to keep going. I'm just going to play the rest of it because it's great.
Now, here's the letter from Harley-Davidson. They write, for over 120 years, Harley-Davidson has brought the joy of motorcycling to riders around the world, no matter who they are, where they come from, or what they believe in. We have a guiding principle, united we ride. It defines how we run our business, treat our people, and underscores our commitment to welcoming all. We are saddened by the negativity on social media over the last few weeks, designed to divide the Harley-Davidson community. As a company, we take this issue very seriously, and it is our responsibility to respond with clarity, action, and facts. Earlier this year, we initiated an internal stakeholder review to better align company activities to the needs of both our business and community. Based on our review, we are committed to the following. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We see it as every leader's role to ensure we have an employee base that reflects our customers and the geographies in which we operate. It is critical to our business that we hire and retain the best talent and that all employees feel welcome. That said, we have not operated a DEI function since April 2024, and we do not have a DEI function today. We do not have hiring quotas, and we no longer have supplier diversity spend goals. Business Employee Research Groups, BERGs. To ensure alignment of our BERGs with business moving forward, we will be providing executive management training to each group to exclusively focus on professional development, networking, and mentoring, sponsorship and affiliations. We are reviewing all sponsorship and organizations we are affiliated with. Actions stemming from what ongoing review include. All sponsorship activities will now be centrally approved and managed efforts through the company of the Harley-Davidson Foundation. As a consumer brand, we will focus exclusively on growing the sport of motorcycling and retaining our loyal riding community. In addition to the support we already provide to first responders, active military members, and veterans, the Harley-Davidson Foundation is committed to driving positive change in Milwaukee, such as through the recently unveiled Davidson Park at our Juneau Avenue headquarters. Harley-Davidson will not participate in HRC scoring going forward. Woo-hoo-hoo, that one's big, baby. Employee training.
I'm really glad that Harley-Davidson decided to make this move. And a lot of other companies and a lot of states are also making the same move, where this DEI stuff is just not a thing, because we hire people who are qualified candidates based on their qualifications, not the color of their skin, because that's racism, isn't it? And when you hire somebody because of the color of their skin, or you choose not to hire somebody because you already have too many people with that color skin at your company, that is racism. You should hire a person based on their abilities. Can they do the job? End of sentence. That's all that matters. Not the color of their skin, not their just sexual orientation, and certainly nothing else. Nothing else. What matters is, can they do the job? Period. Dot. End of sentence. I'm calling it. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.